The Norwegian fjords are beautiful. Powerful waterfalls, amazing hikes, and breathtaking scenery await you at this gorgeous destination. I can barely wait to show you around. I'm Shirley with Shirley's Journeys, and we took a 12-night Arctic Circle cruise on Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas. Now this is just going to be a whirlwind condensed version of that trip, but I plan to post videos for each port so that you can have a little more details about what to do when you travel there. But for now, this will give you a little taste of what to see and what to do in these ports in Norway. After our overnight flight, that landed about 8 a.m., we were met at the airport by our amazing guide Elke, who loaded us and our bags into her vehicle, and off we went. The tour we booked included the countryside, where we crossed canals by tunnel, and we crossed canals by bridge, and we crossed canals by ferry. The Windmill Museum was a favorite stop, going inside a working windmill where we could see what life was like years ago as a miller living in one of these windmills. Village after village, each with its own town hall, seemed to invite us to stroll through them, like this one, where I could imagine myself living in one of the canal houses and stopping by one of the tea houses along the bank of the canal, sampling some cheese at the cheese shop in Edam Square, and visiting one of the oldest brick houses in the Netherlands. What an amazing tour, and it was a great way to spend some time between the time our flight landed and the time our hotel room was ready. I will leave Elke's contact information in the description below, where you can contact her if you want a similar tour, or there are other tours with tours by locals that you might also wish to book. Our large ship sailed through a canal as we were leaving Amsterdam. Having just sailed through the Panama Canal a couple of months earlier, this canal seemed so much simpler in comparison. Just one lock. And people on land seemed fascinated to bike over to watch our large ship making this transit. Norway can be very rainy, but our trip was blessed with gorgeous weather and unusually warm temperatures. We took some gorgeous photos from our balcony as we sailed through our first fjord on the way to Geiranger, constantly passing waterfalls along the route. I had broken my shoulder about 2 weeks prior to this trip, and I had to wear a sling to keep my elbow tucked in toward my side as my shoulder healed. So this prohibited me from doing a lot of hiking or climbing or anything where I might have to be concerned about my balance. But the good thing is that Norway has a lot of options for easy scenic viewing, as the country is so very scenic. Our first Norwegian port is Geiranger. We took the hop-on, hop-off bus up to a viewpoint where we could see the town below, a waterfall, and the 2 cruise ships that were in the harbor that day, the Costa Firenze and the ship we were on, Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas. We walked around the town for a while where I met my first Norwegian troll, and we stopped in a cafe for some scrumptious waffles on a stick. Setting sail from Geiranger, the ship continued north, and the next day we crossed the Arctic Circle. Our ship's entertainment staff hosts a blue nose ceremony on board, and I was able to avoid having ice put down my back, but I did let the cruise staff paint my nose blue, and took a video of sailing beyond the Arctic Circle with my blue nose. Later in the day, we received certificates in our stateroom for crossing the Arctic Circle. We sailed past the Arctic Circle and headed to the northernmost tip of the country to the port of Honningsvaag. Honningsvaag is a large port in the far north of Norway. Our tour included a fishing village where we learned how cod is caught and dried, and we got up close and personal with a king crab. Then we headed up to the North Cape for some time to enjoy the beautiful scenic views and various monuments on the grounds. That facility plays a video about the North Cape and has a restaurant and gift shop, and of course, some North Cape trolls. On our way back to the ship, we stopped off to see some reindeer. On day 2 in Honningsvaag, I decided to be a little spontaneous and explore the town, and I happened upon the Museum of the North Cape. It is packed with information and displays, and I could have easily spent a lot of time here. Our third port was Alesund. It is a coastal city and the largest city we visited in Norway. We docked right smack dab in the city and took a tour through the ship called the Highlights of Alesund, where we visited the Sunmore Open Air Museum to see boats hundreds of years old and buildings that came from all around Norway that have been reassembled here. From Alesund, we sailed through the fjords toward Flam. We could see much of the town from our balcony as we docked. Flam is a major hub in this part of Norway. There is a train station on the right, and people are standing in line to board the ferry to my left. I spent the first part of the day exploring the town. My favorite ship photo was made from here in Flam. Today's excursion included riding a motor coach up the winding mountain roads and switchbacks and stopping at this scenic lookout. What a view! Then we reboarded the bus and made our way toward the Borgundstave Church. Olden, Norway was our next stop. Much smaller in comparison to Alesund. We booked a trip here that took us to the Briksdal Glacier Visitor Center. We hiked along the gravel path and stopped along the way to admire the powerful waterfall. I did not climb all the way up to the glacier. At one point, hikers cross a bridge where they get sprayed by the falls. Then there is a series of stairs with switchbacks and a handrail only on one side. Since my sling would not allow me to use the rail very well, I cautiously declined and did not get to see the glacier up close. When we arrived back in town, we took one of the little tourist trains for a ride around Olden Lake and an opportunity for more beautiful photos. We were supposed to have one more port in Norway. However, because of lack of rain in Europe, the water levels were down, and Amsterdam told our ship that they would need to reschedule our time back through the locks. So we were told we would have to come back one day early. So we spent the last of our Norwegian kroner at the gift shops across from the cruise terminal and said goodbye to the trolls. Individual posts about our trip will be coming soon, so please subscribe to my channel so you can be notified when those posts have gone live. If you are on a mobile phone, turn it vertically and you'll be able to see a little icon of me down below the video, and just click on that and that will give you an opportunity to subscribe. On your desktop or laptop, you'll see a subscribe button in the corner of this video and you can click on it to subscribe. I hope you have enjoyed this quick, condensed version of my trip through Norway. I am Shirley with Shirley's Journeys, and I hope all of your journeys are pleasant ones.